friends, Casey Ashmore coming to you from the studio today. We're talking briefly about spousal maintenance. So Texas family law, spousal maintenance, what is it? Well, it's the A word. It's the word that nobody likes. It's alimony. And that's where one spouse is ordered by a court to maintain another spouse for a temporary period of time because they cannot meet their minimum financial needs to survive and basically not be homeless. Now, this is not an easy burden in Texas. We are not fans of spousal maintenance in the state of Texas. Our legislature likes people to work in the state of Texas. This is a place that rewards hard work. You may have heard the expression, Texas is open for business. Trust me, it is. So what spousal maintenance is, it's a several-step process to prove that a spouse who may have made a sacrifice during the course of a marriage, generally a long marriage, because there's some requirements that have to be met to be entitled to it. But one spouse has taken a diminished role, a diminished earning role in order to provide for health, safety, welfare, making sure the kids get off to school, this, that, or the other, making sure they're available at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the kids come home from school, to making sure that the family home is running a certain way. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they were a homemaker in school or provider or homeschooler. It just means that they have made a sacrifice and they're not able to financially support themselves. Now, how that happens, first and foremost, they have to actually ask for it in a written document to the court. That's called a pleading. Usually it's in one of the original petitions for divorce, or it's in the response, the original answer to the petition to divorce. But the spouse with the diminished earning capacity has to make that formal request. And then that spouse has to support that with a showing of financial inability. In other words, a showing that they don't have a substantial set of assets. There's no inheritance. There's no 400 acres down in Brownwood, Texas with a pecan farm on it. There's no whole life insurance policy. They have to show that they don't have substantial assets such that they could tap into those assets to support them in their situation. And then, more importantly, at a trial or a hearing on the issue of maintenance, they have to put forth credible, believable, admissible evidence. And that's essentially what that means is it's got to be more than just because they said so. So your inability to work doesn't automatically entitle you to spousal maintenance, even in this time of COVID. If you have a multitude of skill sets and you have some other sufficient resources and you are not living within your means, the court may not find that is sufficient credible evidence to entitle you to spousal maintenance, especially if you have some skill sets that you're not utilizing. Whether you're utilizing them in that business, whether you're not utilizing them because of fear of COVID, but if you are not utilizing your skill sets, the court may not find that sufficient enough that you can't meet your minimum needs such that it's going to award maintenance. Anyway, this is not an easy thing to get your head around, and I would just say as a general rule, courts are reluctant to award maintenance, even on a temporary basis. It's just not something that it's not an easy challenge to hit, and a lot of that has to do with the way the courts of appeals have analyzed the rulings granting or denying that, and either saying yes, we're going to carve out this exception, or no, we agree with that judge and that heightened burden because that complies with our state law. So just remember that spousal maintenance is not an easy thing to get, and it's certainly something that can be easily lost. But I'll get to that in the next video series. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hope these videos are informational and helpful. That is what they are intended to be. And I'll have more on spousal maintenance from the studio in the next segment. Thanks so much.